G'day guys. Today I just wanted to share with you one of my other little gadgets I bought with this motorhome. This is a 10 amp to 15 amp adapter. What this means is I get home for a holiday, or even before I leave for a holiday, I can put my van on charge, but my home outlets, I've got a couple of outside power points, but they're 10 amp. They're only 10 amp, whereas the motorhome has a 15 amp connection on the side. So you need one of these adapters. As you can see here, there's the plug for it, and it's got a 10 amp plug. You can see all the little prongs here, in particular this bottom one, they're all the same size. So if you look at these two at the top, these two diagonal ones are pretty much the same width as the bottom one, which indicates that it's 10 amp. All right, whereas the caravan or motorhome plug has a fairly large prong on the bottom. You can see that's significantly wider than the top two, and that's a 15 amp plug, and that's why you need this gadget. It's 10 amp at one end, 15 amp plugs into the 15 amp lead, plugs into this inlet here. I just squeeze these two little buttons together, and you'll see in here that there's a 3-pronged attachment here, and it comfortably fits my 15 amp lead. So this is why it converts 10 to 15 amp. I lift this little black clip up, feed the lead underneath, clicking back down, and that's preventing the lead from falling out of place. Put the little waterproof cover on, and that clips in. So we're safe and sound. And here at the other end, we've got a power surge protection circuit breaker here. I haven't got it plugged in at the moment, but you can see this little yellow button. That's a little test button. So when it's plugged into power, you give that a press, and if it clicks off, then you know it's working correctly. Once again, push this little plastic clip down, and she's now water resistant. Okay, so we're at my side power box. I lift the lid, and when this house was built, it's got an external 10 amp power point. So as you can see here, it's a small 10 amp. As I said before, that's the same size as the other two prongs. I plug this 10 amp lead in, turn him on. Okay, so I'm down at my little motorhome here now. That's the end of my 10 amp lead. I'm plugging my, some people call this an amphibian, but it's just a 10 amp to 15 amp converter. So I plug him in with one hand. As always, I'm holding the camera, which makes it tricky. There we go, that's plugged in. Now here is my caravan lead, and as you can see, that bottom prong is 15 amp. It's a lot thicker, a lot longer than the 10. So he goes straight into this point here. So that's 15 amp. Okay, the lead goes over this little clip. I'll push this clip down and close the waterproof housing. Now if I can, with one hand, lift this up. There's a little test trip meter, little circuit breaker. See, click, and it goes off. Once again, I close that little waterproof housing, and around the other side here, he's plugged into my 15 amp power plug. See, that's a 15 amp, the big other ones. Plug him straight in, and he's now charging my van. So there we go. That's the safe, legal way to do it. Now I did ask, probably a mistake, but I did ask the caravan dealer about, and you do see some people that have a 15 amp lead, they either file their middle prong down, so it's the same width as a 10 prong, and some even cut their 15 amp male power connection and replace it with a 10 amp plug. He referred to them as a death lead. Now I have seen people use these before, and I have heard people talk about these before, and they've had success with them for years, but he did say if they were safe and if they were legal, then they would make them themselves. Having this little device also saves your insurance, and he thinks it saves your life. So for $100, I definitely think it's worthwhile buying this gadget and just having that peace of mind. Okay, thanks again for watching. If you like this video, please consider subscribing, liking. If you have any questions or anything to say, please leave them in the comment section below. All right, thanks for watching. Safe travels and happy holidays. Bye-bye.